During the time I was born, bad for it was bad for black males, black females in the state of Louisiana. Um, is at one point we could not drink out of the same water fountain with whites. We couldn't ride transportation such as Greyhound, Trailway. They used to have signs in the buses saying colored in the rear. At the Greyhound bus station, they also had white and black interests only. White only, black only. Um, it was separate but not equal. I was more or less frustrated as a child growing up because there's things other children could do that we could not. You know, a lot of times we'd be walking on the sidewalk, and if there was 4 or 5 white people walking on the sidewalk, you had to get off the sidewalk and let them go. They wouldn't allow any space for you as an individual.
Were you angry? Did you have
Yes,
anger?
very angry.
Did it grow?
Yes, it did. It grew to a point where I would fight all the time. There was one guy. His name was Little Bill. He's a white guy. He was 2 years older than I was. But every time we met up, we fought. I could beat him, but I couldn't beat him the way I wanted to. So this one day I went to school, was on my way to school, and I decided I should go into the military. When I got into the military, I finished my basic training at Camp Brackenridge, Kentucky. When I finished basic training, I came back to the little town especially to beat this guy they called Little Bill. But when I caught up with him, he was in a wheelchair. I think God had got to him before me because he got drunk and wrapped his vehicle around one of those telephone poles down there. After I left there, I went to Korea. I got the last 6 months of the Korean conflict. I came back and I went to Germany in September of 1953. I was there during the occupation of West Germany from the Second World War.
Wow.
I spent 3 years there. I came back to Camp Chaffee, Arkansas, and I got out for 60 days. And there was nothing in that little town or that area for me to use my brains on. It was all back-breaking work. As an individual, I wasn't wanting, but my labor were wanted. It's okay for me to put my life on the line for my country, but yet when I came home from the battlefield, then I wasn't received properly. So one thing I'm doing is I try to avoid confrontations with people that misuse me. I use an epithet to describe me. Okay, I don't like that, and I get very angry, and I go from 0 to 10 now. There's no in between now, but I try to avoid things of that nature. I think God viewed different cultures as you were put on this earth to enjoy the riches of this earth, and there was no one race of people that is any better than any other race of people. You're all here, even the little thing, everything that creepeth upon the earth has a part in this earth, and it was put here for them as well.
Definition of unity. When I think of unity, I guess I think of togetherness. Maybe everybody being on the same page, going toward a common goal. Just togetherness. You don't hold on to grudges. Hold on to grudges can lead to other feelings, and you let it go. You love everybody, and you know, just try to take care of business. I think that he made everybody different for a reason. You know, I think he, you know, he did it, you know, he has his reasons, you know, but he looks at everybody as one. You know, I don't think he looks at anybody better than the other, you know, just different in their own shape or form. I guess it'd just be more so of a respect thing, you know. It kind of almost kind of look at it as a father figure, so you know, it's kind of respect, you know.
So is that how you look at mankind and cultures? You respect them?
Oh yeah.
Can you
yeah.
expound on that?
You know, I mean, I don't down anybody for what they believe or, you know, for the way were brought up, you know, because every culture has their own way of doing things, you know, so I respect, you know, any and everybody for what they do.
Okay. Do you have any angry feelings inside towards anything bad that has ever happened to you because of maybe how someone treated you for the color of your skin?
No, because, you know, everybody goes through that. I'm not exempt from, you know, you or anybody going through it, you know. Everybody goes through it, everybody's going to go through it. So to get mad at something that's inevitably going to happen is a waste of time. Just to know, you know, and, you know, accept everybody, you know. You shouldn't put anybody on a pedestal. You shouldn't lower anybody, you know. Everybody's different in their own way and right, and you just learn to love and accept them for who they are.
Being as one, being together, doing things together, making sure everybody is like in accord as one. It's like with marriage, like me and Carl, okay, things like we go through, it's like we always come together on everything. It's like if I want to do something, I come to him and like give him his opinion. If you want to do it, okay, it's cool. As long as we're together on everything. You know, it's like he can't go over here and doing this, and I can't go over here and doing this because together we're not together. We're not as one. It's talk. You can't just hold everything in, because if you hold everything in, nobody's being heard. If you over here talking to yourself, how can he hear you? You know, you have to talk. Communicate. It's like communication is like, to me, it's the key, because if I don't know how you feeling, I can't help him.
What is your goal for your marriage in relationships to unity?
Basically, let's all try to be as happy as we all can be. It's like being together, that's the happiest we can be. And it's like, if we all together and everybody on one accord, everybody can somewhat try to be happy as they possibly can be. It's like, you can't just be unhappy over here and be unhappy over here. It's like, you have to be, everybody got to be able to come together and be one. It's hard being happy in a marriage and not being as one, because it's like y'all not on the same page.
Unity in your workplace. Can you tell me what you do for a living?
I'm an esthetician. I do eyebrows and lashes for a living. I do body waxing and things like that. It's like, okay, when we make money, we can't just, it's like we all have to be able to make money for the shop. It's like, I can't tell, like we have so many things. We do body waxing, eyebrows, hair, we sell jewelry and purses and things like that. Now, I can't tell a customer to go over here, go down the street and go buy this, because it's not helping me. When they go down the street and they make money, people down the street make money, not me. It's like, we're not together, we're not making money together. We have to all be together and try to be together and make what's do things best for the shop. If you come in and being nice and everything, everybody's going to be, we're going to try our best to be nice and to treat you as best as we possibly can.
Do you hold any kind of anger or animosity towards any racial group?
No. What's the problem?
How do you think God views unity?
I think if he looks at it, I think he's very, very, I think God, you know, that's one of his major things that he wants for his people, for his families. You know, for everybody to be together and, you know, to have unity. If nobody has unity, nobody's together. Everybody's just running awry.
My definition of unity is when we all come together and on one accord for whatever it is, whether it's family, workplace, community, church. We're all on one accord. We don't have to always agree with everything that we say or want to do, but we have to be agreeable in the process so we can unify to get everything done. She taught us that we must always do all of those things. And it's important, it's imperative to me, or to her, and thereby now to me, that we come together in unity, that we work together. Unity in the workplace must be enjoined for anything to happen. Unity in the church has to be so that we can get on one accord with Christ. Unity in the community so that we look out and take care of each other. You can unify by getting to know a person. You can understand where they are first and foremost, and then try to work with them to help change them, if that's the case. If you are one person and I have a different upbringing and realization, then we may not get to the same place at the same time. However, if we get to know each other, then you might see my side and thereby I might see your side. So thereby the unity happens.
What is your positive message for the world?
Love God first, love your mankind second, love each other, because we all have to get along. The only way that we can work and will work in this society is for us to get to know each other, to work with each other, to love each other. And thereby we will become unified, or more unified.
My views on unity is neither black nor white. It's a holistic thing. This world needs to come together in a more loving type of way. My grandmother, Lorraine Smith, when she was alive, taught me the meaning of unity. And it didn't make a difference where you came from, what nation you came from, what color you were. It was the fact that you believed in God and you had that love in your heart, that respect for your fellow man. And in a nutshell, that's what unity is to me, and that's where I learned it from my grandmother. My immediate goals in relationship to unity is that they grow up learning to love their fellow man. A person once told me, it was a mixed couple. He was black and his wife was Japanese, and I asked him a very stupid question. I asked him, what color was your child going to be? And he said, the color of people. And that always stuck with me through my whole life, because what he said was the absolute truth. It is the color of people. Whether you're black, white, yellow, red, green, or whatever, you're still people. As a young child and as an adult, I've experienced that. So has all my daughters. But I've taught them to look past that and look for the good in people. You're going to have prejudiced people, whether they be black or white. But I teach my children to look past that and to love their fellow man, to talk about it, and to realize that those people just aren't educated enough to know that they're people. They're not a certain race or a certain color. They're just people. And that's the way God made us.
I feel that children should obey their parent, regardless of your skin color. Also, I think people of the world should not look at you because of your skin color, but because of you as a human being, which you are. Now, in my travels, I have ran across some people that say that a black man and a black woman were only 3/5 of a human. I don't understand where they get that from. The third time I went to Germany, racial tension was so high that they had to have race relation classes. And you would be surprised of some of the things that came out of that.
Wow.
Like there was one guy from Mississippi stated that his parents told him the reason our skin was black, it was because we had scabs all over our bodies.
Wow.
Also, a lot of the Caucasian soldiers would tell the German female that black soldiers have a tail that come out after 6 o'clock. And they believe that to a point.
Wow.
You know, you walking around, you see people looking around behind you looking for a tail. I don't have a tail. I never did. You know, so they soon found out that this was a lie. You know, in 1966, I came back from Germany with my two daughters, Lois and Phyllis, and my wife at the time, your mom, Dronetta, and we went to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. At Fort Campbell, Kentucky, I had about 60 on an enlistment. And I was called to the personnel department, and they gave me a choice of re-enlisting there or getting out of the service. And I quoted to this specialist that you don't direct my career. I said, I'm going to Vietnam, and if I don't like it, then I'll come back home. But I went to Vietnam, and I enlisted in Vietnam. And the first tour in Vietnam was very hectic. I was over there during the 68 Tet-Offensive. During that time, was nothing coming into Vietnam or leaving Vietnam. We were stuck there, and we had to fight. In the first 14 hours of fighting, we stacked up something like about 900 bodies. And that takes a toll on a person, especially from my background. I was brought up in church, and I was taught not to kill. Okay, but you're in a situation where either you die or the enemy die, and I prefer to be him than me. But I still have night sweats. I still have nightmares. I fight a lot in my sleep, and as a result of that, I go to a vet center on Tuesday evening. And what I do there, there's other soldiers that have similar problems than I have, and we sit around and we discuss it. Okay, and so it's kind of helping me out a little bit, but I still have those problems.
My definition of unity is just coming together as one person, just kind of helping everybody out in the world. I'm not dishonest to be an African American young man. I'm proud of my heritage. I'm proud of my family and where I come from, and I've always been proud of it.
You don't hold any kind of hatred in your heart towards any type of culture.
No, I don't hate anybody. In my family, they always taught me to love and love unconditionally everybody in the world, no matter what your difference is. Despite everything about you, I love everybody. I got love for everybody.
What would you like to say to the world in relationship to unity?
In relationship to unity, well, in the world, how I feel in the world, it's not a whole lot of unity. In the world, everybody's too busy looking at differences about other people and too busy just trying to fight and all this violence and stuff. What I would say is just that we all need to come together. And as us, especially as a black culture, as black people, we all need to stick together instead of having all this black on black violence. You know, that's just how I feel about everything. I just think that we all need to love each other for who we are and stuff like that instead of trying to find all these differences in people. Our family is we already strong. Our family is all about tradition. You know, my goal for my family is that I love my family to death, and I do anything for them. My goal is just to keep it that way. You know, we a united family. We love each other to death, and that's why I love this family. You know, it's just I want to keep the tradition going. You know, after everybody who plans all this stuff is gone, you know, I just want to carry it on and carry on the tradition of this family.
Why do you think God made different cultures?
Ooh, she got me there. Ooh, I don't. Maybe to see if we could come together as unity. Maybe it was a test. You know, maybe he made different cultures to see if we could look past all the differences. You know, it didn't start out that way, but it's starting to get a little bit better. You know, with slavery and all that. So maybe that's why he did it. I have no idea.
My definition of unity is togetherness, coming together, sharing and caring with everyone, whatever the cause. Her teaching was by example, and she did not make a difference in the culture or ethnic group. She didn't make a difference in it. That's what I saw by example. In my growing up, there was still definitely, there was the separatism. There was segregation. It didn't bother me at the time because I was a child. But as I have grown through the years, I think that's I feel that we should not profile and throw people into a certain group because of the color of their skin or the way they might speak. And we should just share because we never know when we're going to need the other fellow, no matter what his ethnicity is, if you will.
You wrote something on the back of this book. Could you read this to me, please?
Everyone needs to be loving and caring towards each other. People aren't supposed to be mean towards one another just because God decided to use different skin tones.
Have you ever experienced anybody treating you differently because of the color of your skin?
Yes.
How did that make you feel?
Sad?
Made you feel sad inside?
Yes.
What did you do to get rid of that sadness?
I kind of skipped it.
Have you ever thought about holding on to the anger?
No.
Why?
Because if you hold on to anger, it just makes you even more angry.
Exactly. What type of person do you want to be when you grow up?
Nice person.
I believe that unity is a family or group of people who need to stick together through everything, through rough times and good times. They taught me to never separate different colors from each other because, like, basically we're all the same. It doesn't matter what color you are. We all need to be together throughout the end, rough times and bad.
Definition of unity is to stick together and to always be there for each other, at least in our family. Whenever somebody needs something, we're always there. We don't forget about each other. We stay close. We are, even if it's just emotionally, you have to be there for your family, because if you're not there for your family, who will be there for them? And when you need somebody to be there for you, they're going to always be there for you. So you should do the same. I don't know. It's like very hard to describe the feeling in our family. It's very close. And you just have to be around us to understand how when somebody does something wrong and everybody else in the world is against them, we do not judge them. We are there for them. We are understanding. And I think that's the definition of unity. I think many cultures in America, such as Caucasians or African Americans, are not as unified as we used to be. I think our family is, which is different. But I think many other cultures, such as Asians or Indians or so on, other cultures that migrated from other countries to here, are still close in unity and very tight-knit. They stick together. They have grandmothers and grandfathers that live in their house. So I think other cultures do understand the definition of unity. I was very young when she passed, so I don't remember much. My mother and my grandmother taught us a lot about unity. That was passed on from her, that was passed on to them, that was passed on to me, and my children will learn it as well. So, like, every year for Thanksgiving, you call or you show up, just so all the family knows how you're doing once a year. I mean, it's just because many people go years without seeing family members or talking to them, and that's just not something that we were taught to do. I'm young still, so honestly, I don't want to hang out, not trying to be mean, but like old people all day. But if I have time and I'm in the area, I stop by for 5 minutes, even if it's just to go in and say hi and give them a hug. Because to them, that means a lot. And, my younger family, we go out all the time, hang out all the time and see each other on a daily or weekly basis. So I just think that is something that we need to do, because the one younger generation like me who have children, them constantly seeing that, they will be taught that they need to pass that on. I think it's important to show love, and the reasoning specifically, I know I keep talking about it being passed on, but the way our family is has been passed on. And I think that it's important to show love, because if you don't show it, your children will never learn it. If you don't show them what love is, if you constantly show a child that love is negative, like as abuse or yelling or screaming, that's how they're going to react to the rest of the world. And then they go out and they're more violent, and then they teach their children to be violent, and it's a pattern. So if you don't teach love and show love, that is an affectionate and it's kind and it's gentle and it's, you don't need to be always so loud or outspoken, that you need to listen and be patient, then your children will not learn it. And if your children do not learn it, then they will not teach it. And if it stops, nobody will love if we keep passing that on.
My definition of unity, like coming together, being together as one,
Do you hold any kind of anger in your heart towards other cultures?
No, not at all. I mean, all the other cultures, we basically all the same.
What have you been taught in relationship to loving other cultures?
Basically, like, if you have like any hatred towards any other race, towards your heart, it's basically hating yourself or hating your own race.
How do you think God views other cultures?
It's just being the same. All of us being the same. We all God's children.
What would you tell the world?
Just love all. Everybody should just love each other. No matter what race you are, no matter how different you may look, any size, anything, any feature, we all should just love each other for who we are.
Definition of unity, I feel, is one, coming together and staying together. Unity, that's what it means to me, just all being one, united. As far as the family, we seem to stay together, the majority of us anyway, and I think that's very important. And I have always admired that about my people. That taught me a lot, and I just, passed that on to my son. And he is one about family. Unfortunately, he's at work today. He wasn't able to join us, but he's going to try to make it. But I really stress unity within the family, and this family, it has been that for years, and it still is that way. And I just feel good whenever I come around my people because we can all unite and be together. A lot of other cultures, I see it. I'm not over there in all those other countries, but I see it when they come over here. I see a lot of unity within a lot of different nationalities here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever experienced anything negative regarding the color of your skin?
Yes.
How did you handle that?
Well, basically all I can do is just, bite the bullet. I developed tough skin behind it because there's nothing I can do to erase it. And I try not to react negative about the negativity that is, come before me. Okay. And more or less kind of ignore. And like I said, I didn't develop tough skin since I was a little kid. I mean, let's all stand together and let's not be undivided. Let's just stick together. I think everybody should. As we all God's people, let's just stick together and it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from or anything. Let's just all unite and be together. I think it'll be a happier place.
The meaning of unity to me is being together, bonding together, loving one another. Different cultures that I have came in contact with, I have bond with them as far as in a social sense. Was hurt for a while, but really I grew from them.
You grew from it?
Yes, anything that has came to me in a negative way, if I couldn't make a positive out of it, then I didn't bother with it.
Well, what would you say to the world?
Well, there's only one word I can come up with, and that's love.
Okay.
Love.
Just love. What would you like to say to your family?
Well, all of them, I tell them, always stick together. As a band, be together. One has to do something. They get together and see what's your best way out.
Yes. Tell me how you feel about your family, Grandpa.
Well, I think the family's done all right. Just later years, I ain't been able to keep up with them. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
We used to have picnics and different things more often,
Is there anything in your heart you want to say to us, Grandpa?
No, all I can say is always stick together as a family.